In part 1, we established the two seed lines of Genesis 3:15, the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. We identified the sons of God as the watcher class of angels confirmed by Job, Enoch, Jubilees, and Jude, and we left them descending on Mount Hermon, 200 strong, bound by oath. Now, here's what happened next. The canonized scriptures give us the headlines. The book of Enoch and the book of Jasher give us the details, and what they describe is staggering. The book of Enoch, chapter 6. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters, and the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. Their leader was Semi-Jaza. They descended on Mount Hermon, 200 of them, and they bound themselves by oath to go through with what they had planned. Now, and this is crucial, the book of Enoch doesn't just describe the watchers taking wives. It describes them transferring forbidden knowledge to humanity. Enoch chapter 8. They taught men the making of swords and knives and shields and breastplates. They taught sorceries, enchantments, the cutting of roots. They taught the art of cosmetics and the observation of the stars for purposes of manipulation. The book of Jasher, chapter 4, adds to this picture. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. Read that again. The mixture of animals of one species with another. This is not metaphor. This is genetic hybridization. The watchers and their offspring weren't just corrupting human bloodlines. They were corrupting all flesh. This is why Genesis 6-12 says, So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. All flesh, not just humanity. The genetic integrity of the created order was being systematically dismantled. This is the full scope of what was happening before the flood. It wasn't merely a moral collapse, though it was that too. It was a biological assault on creation itself, an attempt to corrupt the very seed line through which the Messiah would one day come. Remember Genesis 3:15. If you corrupt the seed of the woman, if there is no pure Adamic human left, then the promise of redemption cannot be fulfilled. The flood was not just judgment. It was rescue. Genesis 6-4. There were Nephilim on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. The Nephilim, the offspring of the watchers and human women. The book of Enoch gives us their size, chapter 7. And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells. Now, the unit here requires a little unpacking. Scholars speculate that Enoch's 3,000 ells is best understood as equivalent to approximately 300 cubits, with 1 cubit being roughly 18 inches, or about half a meter. That puts these first-generation Nephilim at somewhere in the range of 450 feet tall. Let that land for a second. Even if you allow for ancient numerical convention or scribal transmission affecting the figures, we are talking about beings of a completely different biological order than anything walking the earth today. Not large men, not tall warriors, something else entirely. And what did they do with that size and power? Enoch chapter 7 continues. Who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. This is a world descending into total chaos. The Nephilim were consuming everything, and eventually they turned on each other. The book of Enoch, chapter 10, describes God's response before the flood. And to Gabriel said the Lord, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers from amongst men, cause them to go against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle. God essentially triggered a civil war among the Nephilim. The first generation of giants destroyed themselves in an orgy of violence, a war so Uso. vast, so catastrophic, so burned into the collective memory of humanity that cultures across the ancient world preserved it in their own mythologies. The Greeks called it the War of the Titans. The Titanomachy, the battle between the Titans and the Olympians, is the Greek cultural memory of this exact event. The details changed in the retelling. The theological framework was lost, but the event was preserved. This is why the same story appears in cultures that had no contact with each other, because it wasn't mythology first. It was history first. And when the bodies of those first-generation giants fell, their spirits, according to Enoch, did not return to heaven. They became something else. Enoch 15:8-9. Now the giants who have been born of spirit and of flesh shall be called upon earth. Evil spirits, and on earth shall be their habitation. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies. The disembodied spirits of the Nephilim became what we know as demons, earthbound, hungry, seeking bodies to inhabit. This is why in the New Testament demons beg not to be sent into the abyss. They know what awaits them. They are the remnant of a war that was fought and lost before the flood. One man's bloodline remained uncontaminated. One genetic line, unbroken from Adam through Seth, survived the corruption. And God noticed. Part 3, Noah's Pure DNA and the Flood, coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it.